One Zambia, one nation, and welcome to Zanis News. We look at the top stories making us headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has directed that volunteers providing service during cholera outbreak be employed. Investing in African mining Indaba opens in Cape Town, South Africa. Heavy rains destroy crossing points in Mafinga. Plus, Chess Federation of Zambia intensify preparations ahead of the international competitions. In other news in detail, President Hakainde Hichilema has directed that all health volunteers rendering health service during the cholera outbreak be employed in the next Ministry of Health recruitment. President Hichilema says that this is to appreciate the role the health workers have played, leading to the reduction of cholera cases from the previous over 1,000 admission cases to less than 200 as of today. The head of state made the directive in Lusaka when he visited Hero Stadium, which is the National Cholera Treatment Center. Let us get the details from Kalan Muchima.
On the 24th of August 2021, Hero Stadium had erupted in excitement. That time, it was when Zambians were witnessing the inauguration of President Hakainde Hichilema as 7th Republican President of the Republic of Zambia. But again, fast forward, Heroes again has erupted following President Hakainde Hichilema's directive that all the over 500 health practitioners who were rendering services towards the cholera prevention in Zambia be employed.
The health recruitment directive came when President Hakainde Hichilema made a second tour of the Heroes Stadium, which is the National Cholera Treatment Center.
Within Minister of Health and other colleagues' ministries, because some of the general workers category here can be absorbed elsewhere, right? Yes. So within the orderliness that we have exhibited since we took public office, within the budgetary constraints, and to couple that with natural attrition, because every organization, people exit, sometimes we lose them by way of death, some resign, some retire. By these measures, a combination of these measures, I'm directing that all the volunteers should be given permanent.
These are sent wild celebrations among the health practitioners, mostly those who were volunteering.
Zambia has recorded 17,169 cases of cholera countrywide, with 622 deaths since the disease broke out on the 18th of October 2023.
We have not recorded any deaths at this facility for the past 10 days, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, all that I have spoken of in terms of the decreases, this is the progress we have made over the past 4 weeks of us managing these patients under your charge. Your Excellency would not have managed to achieve these successes without the support of each and everyone in the community. We have received great support from our local partners and individuals. These include various banks and various business houses.
Hero Stadium, which had an admission of 919 patients as of 10th January 2024, currently has only 65 patients as of 4th February 2024. Zambia has since vaccinated 1,888,112 people from the received about 1.7 million oral cholera vaccine doses from the World Health Organization. President Hakainde Hichilema was accompanied at Hero Stadium by several cabinet ministers, permanent secretaries, stakeholders in the fight against cholera, among others. Kalan Muchima reporting for Zanis in Osaka.
Now, meetings ahead of the official opening of the annual Investing in African Mining Indaba in Cape Town, South Africa, have started with a ministerial symposium being attended by various players in the mining sector value chain. Zambia is participating as a guest speaker at the Indaba that has been held for the past 30 years and is expected to be officially opened tomorrow. President Hakainde Hichilema is represented at the Indaba by the Minister of Finance and National Planning, Situmbeko Musokotwane, who is accompanied by the Minister of Mines and Minerals Development, Paul Kabuswe. Michele Lubinda gives us details in the following report.
As you're aware, the government of Zambia signed an agreement with the government of the Democratic Republic of Congo to ensure that we partner on ensuring that we have control over battery metals. And these battery metals under the Battery Council would result in us being able to produce batteries, which is an element of value addition. That has come in, is moving fast into fruition with the creation of committees on both sides to ensure that you have a governance structure where we agree on a number of terms, ensuring that the location where this particular enterprise will take place, which has already been identified.
First and foremost, we are part of the global village, and we cannot operate in isolation. So as a country, we want to be show that we are part of the global village. As a country, we are keen on networking to make sure that we are part of those African countries that are saying we must leverage, we must take advantage of the issue of critical minerals and see how there is a win-win situation between the foreign direct investment or local direct investment and benefit to our people.
Meanwhile, on the other hand, Minister of Science and Technology Felix Mutati says artificial intelligence remains key in increased copper production in the country. Mr. Mutati said this in Kalumbila district when he toured Barrick Lumwana Copper Mine and First Quantum Minerals Limited. Details in the following report.
He is in the province to officiate at the launch of the upgraded Msingwa Mobile Communication Tower in Chief Mlonga's area. The minister has outlined the benefits of enhanced communication facilities.
That we're bringing a technology where our children in school will be able to learn the same things that their friends in Lusaka, in Kitwe, and in Dola are learning at the same time. We want you to be able to access social cash transfer, VSIP, and other empowerment programs on the phone.
MTN Chief Executive Officer is present at the ceremony.
We understand that accessibility is not just about convenience, it's about inclusion. Whether you are in the bustling city of Lusaka or in a remote village, we want all our services to reach our customers.
The community have added their voices.
With this gesture, I think that's well done. We thank you for the government of today, what they have done. I think we are going to speed up whatever transactions we're going to have with the government.
Earlier, the minister officiated at the groundbreaking ceremony of the commencement of construction of communication towers.
In the province, Northwestern Province, we are going to connect and plant 19 brand new towers for rural Northwestern Province. The 2G towers, we shall upgrade them from 2G to 4G. And the total number of the towers that are upgrading in Northwestern Province is 41.
The minister also paid a courtesy call on Senior Chief Mujimanzovo of the Kaonde-speaking people. Florence Musa reporting for Zanis in Mushindamo District, Northwestern Province.
And now, in other news, Paramount Chief Mpezeni of the Ngoni-speaking people in Eastern Province says the Nchwala traditional ceremony will not be used as a platform to spearhead political agendas. The traditional leader says he does not want to see people coming to the ceremony slated for February 24th, 2024 to cause confusion. Paramount Chief Mpezeni was speaking during the 9th Nchwala preparatory meeting held at his Laweni Palace in Muntenguleni, adding that the Nchwala ceremony is not only for the Ngonis, but also a platform to unite people from various political affiliations and ethnic groupings. Let us get to hear more from the following report.
2 weeks is remaining before the hosting of this year's Nchwala ceremony at Mtenguleni in Chipata district. Paramount Chief Mpezeni of the Ngoni-speaking people in Eastern Province attended the 9th preparatory meeting for the Nchwala ceremony to get full information on the progress made. The traditional ruler appealed to the security wings to ensure that there was order at this year's ceremony. Sylvester Chimba for Zanis in Chipata district.
Well, still with the news, let us hear this message.
Kanti Cholera kibutuku manyim. Cholera kibutuku wakusululam. Mutia nani butuku wa Cholera utasulula ni kutazam. Mutia kula butuku wa Cholera usulula meza mfutasi na araisi aya kwa mutabanim. Mukuliyo ukato kwa mezi mamubili wakingisa kufufulelwam. Mukuliyo ukona kutimela mwahalali hola zeli shumi kazepeli haiva asafumanili kalafo zambuwam. Mutu ukona kuyambula choni butuku wa Cholera. Kunwa mezi aska keniswa kapa kunwa mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho ni mazo atezi masila kapa kuitusali ya peiso zetapisizwe ni mezi amasilamu. Kuchalicho zesika kwaelwa ni kuselezwa kwa linzinzimu. Kuchalicho zelobezi ilizeo alisikabukelezwa handem. Kuchalicho zelekisiwa mama kululum. Kuchalitolwana manicholo ni mulo zesika tapiswam. Luko nachwa ni kuiselezwa kwa butuku wa Cholera. Kuvilisa mezi akunwa kapa kuvea mwateni chlorine. Mfutuma zeli choza mina pili musikali chakalem. Mukwaele li choza mina kaufela kulisileleza kwa linzinzimu. Muske mwa chalicho za mama kululum. Mwitu seka limbalimba nako kaufela. Mi muske mwa itusa bikopo kapa mapepa amuyumba zema silamu. Mubone kuli mutabani wala telwa mwaka limbalimbamu. Mubone kuli kalimbalimba kamina kakenile nako kaufela manicholo ni kukwaelwamu. ling'osale litakumina kuzwa ku balikolo la Makete.
Some crossing points in Mafinga district in Muchinga province have been washed away due to the heavy downpour that the area is currently experiencing. This has resulted in over 12,000 people across Mululu and other streams facing challenges. Let us get more in the following report.
A good number of crossing points in Mafinga district require urgent attention, especially that some have been washed away, while at some streams they've never had at all. Lolo crossing point is among the bridges that have been washed away with the heavy current due to the heavy rains that the district is experiencing currently.
There is no bridge at the river called the Mutetezi River.
It's hard to go to Marawi due to lack of a bridge here. With your coming MP, we are hopeful of a solution. Can government come to our aid so that we can be moving where to go and order our goods, as we are not able to order a lot due to not having a bridge?
And a community health worker based across this stream now explains some of the challenges.
When it is flooded, there's no one can see. So what we usually do sometimes, we may have some emergencies there waiting for you to get the drugs from the farmers, the facility. So what we usually do sometimes, if it's possible, sometimes when they can manage to close, we pay these guys who stay nearby. We pay them and we lift the motorbike up. So at least even if you are crossing the stream where the water is reaching somewhere here, we are able to close so that the motorbike is safe.
This bridge is very important for them to seek medical care. At the same time, we've got a secondary school here.
However, the area member of parliament for Mafinga Constituency, Robert Chavinga, has promised to engage the responsible ministry.
I just want to appeal to the Ministry of Infrastructure and through the Honorable Minister, Honorable Karen Kombo, and his permanent secretaries, that I think we have done the requests. They must look at the plight of our people in Nichako, Samuto and Malazi, who are over actually 12,000 to be specific. Now, you can imagine when we are saying development and digitalization closer to the people, we need also to feel and be part and parcel.
Miriam Mwenda, reporting for Zanis in Mafinga district.
Well, thank you so much for that report. Now, Central Province Permanent Secretary Milna Mwanakampwe says the government has repositioned the restoration of the Lukanga swamps by initiating the setup of the Lukanga Swamp Special Purpose Vehicle. And speaking in a speech read for him by Kapirimponshi District Commissioner Francis Hasalama during the commemoration of the World Wetlands Day, Mr. Mwanakampwe says the move will harmonize the management of resources in the ecosystem. More in the following report.
Government, through the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, has continued to coordinate the implementation of the national policy on wetlands. So far, a conservation plan has been developed for Lukanga swamps, and the possibility of setting up a special purpose vehicle to coordinate investment and restoration programs in the Lukanga swamps is being assessed. Central Province Permanent Secretary Milna Mwanakampwe was represented by Kapirimponshi District Commissioner Francis Hasalama during the commemoration of the 2024 World Wetlands Day, which was held under the theme Wetlands and Human Well-being.
The ministry this year began consultations with key stakeholders on the development of guidelines for the management and utilization of wetlands. The government is very much committed to ensuring that Lukanga swamp ecosystem and its biodiversity is restored to be able to drive the local economies and also provide ecosystem services to society.
Conservation partner Dr. Betty Msumuko says the theme, Wetlands and Humanity Well-being, will help to raise awareness on wetlands values and benefits to the people and the planet.
So the theme, which says human being and the wellness of the wetlands, is actually speaking to how we should look after the wetlands as a people. And looking at the Lukanga swamps, it's actually an industry for local communities here. And if the communities are not looking after the wetlands, then the wetland will not look after them. And their children yet to be born will not see what is and how to benefit from that wetland.
Worldwide Fund for Nature Zambia Chief External Engagement Officer Fungai Musana sees the Lukanga wetland as having great impact on the economy.
So this also helps with what would call hydropower stations, because they need water, or at least constant water flows. And the Lukanga is able to help with those water flows that are important. And this also has a greater impact on the economy. And this is why WWF sees this as a very important wetland.
Daniel Billy for Zanis News in the Lukanga swamps in Kapirimposhi District, Central Province.
And now, the upgrading of the 3.6-kilometer gravel road branching off from the Mongu Senanga Road to Chieftainess Mbuyu Imwinko's Palace in Muoyo, Nalolo District into bituminous standards is set to commence by the end of this month. Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, Charles Milupi, has disclosed this in Muoyo after he inspected the gravel road. We have more in the following report by Sofiwe Mwangala.
The government is committed to establishing a comprehensive good road network across the country, aiming to enhance connectivity to all regions. Speaking while inspecting the stretch branching off from Mongo Senanga Road to Chieftainess Mbuyu Imwiko's Palace in Moyo area, Nalolo District, Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development Minister Charles Milupi confirmed that construction work on the 3.6-kilometer gravel road will begin before the end of this month.
Now that we have completed on the other side, they will mobilize here, the contractor will mobilize here as soon as they come back from their Chinese holiday, New Year. Okay, so we expect that towards the end of February, they will mobilize to come and undertake this particular part of the contract. The quality of the road is exactly what we have all seen on the Limulunga Road. And it's a fairly short stretch, but the costs are within the prescribed cost, which is roughly between $500,000 and $600,000 per kilometer. So this comes to roughly $2 million, just this extension here.
The Barosero establishment has commended the government's move, highlighting the benefits the road will bring.
The benefits is very, 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 very high, because our transport from here to Mungu it will be very easy now. So our taxi drivers are very, very, very grateful indeed. Or even the community, they are very, very, very grateful indeed, because this road is not for BRI only, no, but for the community people.
The district leadership has also welcomed the decision to tar the road.
This will really help to open Nalolo. Nalolo is a hub of rice. So having this road done, a 3.6-kilometer stretch, will help improve trade.
This is development that we are getting from the national cake, and people should appreciate this development, because from independence we haven't had this development. But now in the UPND New Dawn government, we are having this development coming into our district.
Sifue Mwangala, reporting for Zanis in Nalolo District, Western Province.
The Gender Division at Cabinet Office has empowered several women cooperatives in Kasempa District of Northwestern Province with farming equipment such as tractors and beehives. And Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mainga Kabika says the idea is to boost production of quality products that will fetch more profits for business sustainability and growth for women cooperatives. Let us see this.
One of the bread baskets of Northwestern Province is Kasempa District, with 78 women cooperatives engaged in agriculture activities and other ventures. Government, through the Gender Division at Cabinet Office, has donated tractors to some cooperatives to boost agriculture and change livelihoods. Dressed in full farming combat, Gender Division Permanent Secretary Mahinga Kavika is the messiah to these cooperatives, and upon arrival in Kasempa, Ms. Kavika did not waste her time and proceeded to donate tractors to jovial cooperatives.
But today we believe and trust that we are as well Zambians.
So the president feels very attached to gender matters. The president has actually made a lot of efforts in ensuring that women are empowered, to ensure that we add to the economy, to ensure that we bring sanity in our homes, to ensure that we contribute to the livelihoods of our children, obviously of the entire community.
To enhance honey production in Kasempa, Ms. Kavika further handed over beehives, honey pressers and protective cloths to beneficiaries.
Mambo njanje kukimona pone amipa no mbena kwamba njanje kukimona pone yo ya first day ateto nusangira government wa new doni na mambo kama mbabe tumaye yoto kuonyesha kura kutegera.
For sure, Miss Kavika had a busy day in Kasempa. Petiasi Mutale for Zanis News in Kasempa, Northwestern Province.
And now, in an effort to supplement government efforts in the provision of quality education and mitigate the desk and office furniture challenges affecting most schools in its catchment areas, World Vision Zambia has felt obliged to donate desks to Kaula Secondary School in Manyinga district of Northwestern Province. The organization has donated desks, office chairs, and tables to the school in order to cushion the desk and office furniture challenges that have been affecting the school and other learning institutions in the area. We have more in the following report.
The presidential directive by President Hakainde Hichilema that no pupil should sit on the floor has seen a lot of adherence and commitment among government institutions and cooperating partners in ensuring that learning institutions are provided with desks and office furniture. World Vision Zambia has responded to this noble cause by donating desks and office furniture to Kaula Secondary School.
We are here to donate the various furniture that we brought at this school, tables and desks that will help the learners to access quality education at the Kaula Secondary School. As World Vision, being a child-focused organization, we want to see our school-going children being comfortable as they acquire their education and their studies.
The development has elated school authorities.
We are so thankful in the sense that it has come at a time when the President made a declaration that no child should sit on the floor. I'm sure this will help to mitigate the furniture deficit that we have as an institution.
With the continued increase of pupil population in local schools, there is need for a continuous corroborated effort between government and local stakeholders in the provision of desks and other learning needs. I'm Ian Chomba reporting for Zanis News in Manyinga District, Northwestern Province.
Thank you so much, Ian Chomba, for that report. Let's take a look at this message before we continue.
Cholera wapa msongo muka. Cholera wapa msongo wa kuichisa. Mutu alina msongo wa cholera echikuichisa nga chikuma na kusaza nawa. Bize vipi mwaichisa mutu na vipoya meya nge msoji wa loso. Mubeji echikuzia nga chikuma mujimba muomo ya kufumisa meya a mujimba. Mubeji nawa na hase kufa mujiwola li 12 hours ngeka wechi kumuhana vitumbo vya kumuka wa shiko. Unahase nga chili kuachi wa kumsongo wa cholera. Kuhichila mkuna meya kuwa na kuhaka vitumbo nawa aze ali na majilo. Kulia vyakulia na mawoko aze ali na majilo chipwe kuzachisa malonga na jindeho ja kukosa na meya majilo akuwa na kuhaka vitumbo.
kulya byakulya byakuhona kufika bize banawilye kubajiji, kulya byakulya bituta bize kabatumbikanga kana wako, kulya byakulya bize banakulandulula mu mikwakwa, na kulya nawa mihako na makovu ako na kukosa kanawa. Tunahasenga chili kulikinga kumusongo wa kolera, telekenu mea enu akunwa chipwe kuhaka mo bitumbo bya chlorine. Sanenu kumawoko enu na sopo chipwe na mea kuhaka bitumbo hanyima ya kuzaisa chimbusho. Zumisenu byakulya benu shimbukanda mubilye. Fwikenu ha byakulya benu byosena kuchina kubiwila kubajiji. Kanda kulya byakulya byakulanda mu mikwakwa nduma. Zachisenu chimbusho lwalo sena. Kahakanda kuzachisa ndundu chipwe mapepa andundu hakuya na kulihehwa nduma. Mwatela kumona ngwenu vipi yosena munawitapwila mchimbusho. Chimbusho chanu nawa chatela kupwa cha unyoji kahanawa cha kufika lwalo sena. Mujimbu uno banamnehela wakuli bakachanda chatala kulikangula cha meno ya batu cha Ministry of Health.
Well, that was the Ministry of Health trying to remind us of cholera in our country. Let us make sure that we keep on abiding to the guidelines. Now, the Scaling Up Nutrition Technical Assistant, SAN-TA, has donated cholera prevention materials to 47 health facilities in Kasama District. And SAN-TA USAID Kasama District Manager, Falesi Maimisa, says her organization has donated the same materials to the District Health Office in Luwingu and Mbala at the cost of 200,000 kwacha. Tizaona Mulenga has got more in the following report.
As the country continues to record cases of cholera, the Scaling Up Nutrition Technical Assistant, SAN-TA in Kasama, has come on board to donate cholera kits to 3 district health offices in Northern Province. The kits, worth over 200,000 kwacha, have been donated to Kasama, Luwingu, and Zimbala district health offices. SAN-TA USAID Projects Manager for Kasama, Fales Maimisa, handed over the kits for the Kasama District Health Office.
SAN-TA procured 42 by 25 kgs buckets of granular chlorine to respond to the cholera outbreak that is roaming the country. Apart from the 42 buckets, we also provided 100 liters of fuel for sensitization meetings to the District Health Office.
The Kasama District Administration says the district is ready to combat the pandemic.
The district, we have epidemic preparedness control. I think this committee has been working flat out. We are well coordinated as a district, and for such, we want to report that as Kasama district, we've had no case of cholera in our district, and partly because of the effort, concerted effort from all the key stakeholders.
Although Kasama has no cases of cholera, the district health director in charge of technical services, Charles Chungu, says his office is investing in prevention.
We've been investing in prevention as well as preparedness for cholera. Of course, we've had a number of alerts and cases that we've reported as Kasama. We have not yet received a confirmed case, but we have a number of alerts. One of the things that we did as a committee is to form or establish the contingency plan for cholera response. And when we look at our plan, there are a number of items that we need to strengthen our prevention as well as the preparedness. One of the critical inputs are supplies such as the ones we're receiving today.
For Zanis in Kasama and Tizaona Mlenga.
Now, Senior Chieftainess Chungu of the Visa people of Luponsoshi district has asked communities to respect the rights of children. Meanwhile, Chief Shiwalya Kapila has thanked President Hakainde Hichilema for signing a law whose objective is to protect children's rights. The traditional leaders made their remarks in their respective palaces when officials from the Department of Child Development called on them ahead of the sensitization of herd persons on the Children's Code Act No. 12 of 2022. We have more in the following report.
Children have the right to education, health care, and to engage in play, among others, but these rights are often violated by some adults. This is why government, through the Department of Child Development in Northern Province, has been sensitizing headmen and women on the contents of the Children's Code Act No. 12 of 2022, whose objective is to protect the rights of children. Northern Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Lewis Mwape led the team from the Department of Child Development in paying a courtesy call on Senior Chieftainess Chungu of Lupososhi District before sensitizing the headmen and women.
The president loves the people of Lupososhi, and a family indicated that one of the boarding schools amongst the 21, which will be in different districts. So Lupososhi is one of those 21 districts that will receive the full modern boarding school.
Senior Chieftainess Chongo of Lupososhi District and Chief Shibwale Kapila of Lunte District, whose chiefdoms have been sensitized, want communities to respect the rights of children.
Ishibatontonkenye president ndetotela sana antu bafu abana batatiimitikula empanga.
Moshon Milambo is Northern Province Child Development Coordinator.
Some of the important issues that have been coming out from all these chiefdoms that we've been to is the issue of child neglect. A lot of people were not aware that, neglecting a child is basically a serious offense which can land somebody, to 3 years imprisonment.
The Department of Child Development has since concluded sensitizing headmen and women across 18 chiefdoms. Helen Boalia reporting for Zanis.
Now, Green Living Movement, GLM, a non-governmental organization in partnership with the Glasgow Foundation, has launched a climate-resilient community project aimed at promoting sustainable innovations and climate-resilient practices among small-scale farmers in Gwembe District. GLM Program Manager Clive Chibule says the project is targeting 250 small-scale farming households over a period of 3 years. Bran Kapuka now gives us a report.
Gwembe District in Southern Province is well known to be prone to effects of climate change that usually end up disturbing the livelihoods of its people. However, Green Living Movement, GLM, a non-governmental organization in partnership with the Glasgow Foundation, will be implementing a climate-resilient communities CRC project for a period of 3 years in Gwembe District from 2024 to 2026. The GLM project manager, Clive Chibule, says the project is targeting 250 small-scale farming households with an objective of improving food and income security through promoting resilient and sustainable livelihoods.
The project wants to start its pilot of this intervention over about 250 households minimum in these 3 wards. The project wants to have improved food and income security through the promotion of diversified, resilient and sustainable livelihoods. So what are those livelihoods that can give income and food security to our communities? We want to empower the communities to be the one identifying their own priorities. What is it? What do they think can build, can empower themselves? What can they do in a more climate justice manner? Okay, so that and basically looking at the local materials that are found within the areas, because that's where we need to begin to start from what they have. But also we want to help our communities to be able to understand, the impact of climate change, okay, and what are some of the local adaptive measures that the community they can engage into.
Gwembe District Commissioner Kiron Chikandula has employed line ministers that are working in line with the objective of the NGO to cooperate and work closely with them and help monitor the project.
Our friends who have just come, I know they will be aligned to some line ministries. So I'm sure you have seen what they've come for. So since you are not new, you have handled so many NGOs, you know where to start from. And once they start, please, don't just let them go alone. Direct them what to do.
And Gwembe District Community Development Officer, Doreen Mwanza, has welcomed the project, but has called on for more sensitization to the community on the ownership of the project.
Ownership of the same project, because you find that most of the time, whenever a project comes to an end, even everything stops at that time. So we need to sensitize the communities. They should be involved in everything.
Brian Kapuka reporting in Gwembe District.
Well, still in the news, Kawambwa Town Council Chairperson Kalumba Chifumbe has disclosed that the local authority received in full the 2022 Constituency Development Fund CDF. Mr. Chifumbe says receiving in full the CDF has enabled the council to work on over 30 community projects. More in the following report by Kennedy Chomba.
Kawambwa Town Council has managed to do 36 community projects using the 2022 Constituency Development Fund. 18 of these projects, which include water schemes, classroom blocks, health facilities, are in Kawambwa Central Constituency, while the other 18 are in Pambashe Constituency. Kawambwa Town Council Chairperson Kalumba Chifumbe says the local authority will not in any way frustrate the implementation of CDF, but rather they will continue to work hard for the people of Kawambwa district to benefit.
What we need to do is to support the government ilipo no kuombera panga for the betterment of our people. Na tuwatampa ma politics aba chula nibensa not ne wapandipo apanda council chair twakula mibombera tutoka stay frustrate government efforts.
Luapula Province Minister Njavwasi Mutowe has since handed over all the 36 projects, and he has underscored the importance of the Constituency Development Fund in bringing development to communities.
Historic handover of over 30 Constituency Development Fund projects CDF in Kawambwa Central Constituency at 13,578,156 kwacha 18 Ingwe, and Pambashe Constituency at 13,561,934 kwacha 44 Ngwe. Government attaches with great importance the spreading of development to all parts of the country.
To Pambashe Constituency Development Committee Chairperson Fanuo Chisanga, all the wards have received 1 or 2 projects.
Chila wadi ila kuata ma projects ayo tulebo mbela kwa ya kumonokota tukuya ntanshi kwa ya kuntanshi. Icho tuleta shaba kateka kuiminina ko chilolo wasebwala shikwa kuno tuleta shaba kateka pakulunda kwempia pako otati buya ntanshi biteshani buye kuntanshi pako otati ichalo chitumpuluke kaidi ichalo chitampyo kusambo. Kanabesa ngatuwati tulolekeshe tulesa ngoko otati chino chalo kuno kwali kumashototo lero pamulandu wako otati CDF yalisa na ile ngoko otati fintifense pia.
Kennedy Chomba reporting for Zanis News in Kawambwa district.
Now, a 66-year-old physically challenged retired teacher of Masaiti district is appealing to government and other well-wishers to come to his aid. Mr. Roderick Lundwe said this in an interview with Zanis. Let us get more information.
Life has not been easy for the past 5 years for this 66-year-old man of Masaiti district. Mr. Roderick Lundwe narrated that he found himself in this predicament after he suffered a stroke whilst in employment as a teacher. He is now appealing to government and other well-wishers to come to his aid.
Yes, once a teacher in Mumba. Then in the year 2000, I had the first bout of stroke. Then I overcame this one through training and exercises. Then unfortunately again in 2012, the same happened, which left me incapacitated for quite some years. Then in the same year, 2012, I was supposed to have been retired. I submitted all my documents, but unfortunately, there was something wrong with the office in Mumba. Until last year, when I received the retirement letter. And up to now, I have not been given my dues because I was reinstated on the payroll. I have been given my my arrears for 5 years. Nothing has happened so far. It has made my life very, very difficult.
Mr. Lundwe's sister is saddened by her brother's condition.
na mukuja konse balashutuka tabakwate mpia shakwati kuchi badiamo bino tabakwate mpia kwati kuchi bashitamo na ngubunga na fimbi shakwati bimo ifili mkuti mwawafurisha kuna nguwi ucheya abene bale kuchi baendo ko balefwaya kwa bawa kubasunga ko filo nomba tabako tawiche so instead yonse balala lafu bedi no kwikara fi.
Saiti District Community Health Assistant Rachel Mwandila describes the challenges faced by their clients.
I identified Mr. Roderick Lundwe as a home-based care patient. Twamweno kutida bala faiko bwa filisho bwa uche atabenda. Every time he's sick, tutumina amafoni kusaba mukubapera omuti kwaletera omuti kandi malero kusaba pima lyonse kunganda. So we have seen it that he needs help. In case I'm not around, I'm also sick. When he he can be able to ride himself to a facility.
Mr. Lundwe now depends on his jobless wife to provide for their daily needs through charcoal burning. Mkwachi Chanda, Zanis, Masaiti District.
Thank you so much for that report. We now go to sports news. The Chess Federation of Zambia has intensified preparations for the 2 international competitions ahead of the All Africa Games and Africa Individual Chess Championship to be held in Accra, Ghana. Chess Federation of Zambia President Leslie Chikuse's led board has since intensified talent identification countrywide. Let us take a look.
Ahead of the All Africa Games and the Africa Individual Chess Championship, all to be held in Accra, Ghana, the Chess Federation of Zambia has its talent intensified program throughout the country. The association has been conducting the program in a phased approach before selecting a formidable team that will represent Zambia in March this year.
Yes, so this is the 3rd phase of the national team qualifiers. So basically it's a 3rd phase because we started the tournament by going into the provinces, the districts, to identify talent. So we had tournaments in the respective provinces, districts, where they played their tournaments and they qualified to the 2nd phase. So the 2nd phase was basically a tournament of the best players in every province. They came into Lusaka and they played the 2nd phase, and those that qualified came to the 3rd phase, which is the one we have here. So this tournament started yesterday. Most of some players have already qualified, but these are basically the ones who are playing today are those that had the same points, and they are playing their playoffs to separate upon those who qualify to the final phase. So the final phase will basically will have the 10 players, and from the 10 players we're supposed to pick 5 players who are going to be the Zambia national team. The objective of this tournament, of course, is number 1 is to ensure transparency and proper methods of talent identification by tapping talent from the provinces and the districts, and basically giving an opportunity to every chess player in the country to be able to take part in these trials.
And reigning champion Chitumbo Mwale, who is Red Arrows Chess Club member, is emphatic about the forthcoming championships this year. Mwale is certain that this year too will be his to add more medals to Zambia.
Championship, I'm playing the last phase, and this is the 3rd phase, and they've got another one coming up, but how ready I am, I can only talk about the Africa Games next month and the African Video Championship that will take place next month. These are the 2 games that I'm looking forward to, aiming to win gold.
And the local sponsor and businessman, Mike Mulawi, says he remains committed to supporting chess because of its vital role it plays in society. Mulawi says he is happy to partner with the CFZ board and its patron, Dr. Stumbeko Msokotwane, who is also Minister of Finance and National Planning, for ensuring the development of chess in the country.
First of all, I want to thank Chikuse, President of the Chess Federation of Zambia, for recognizing us, recognizing our efforts. It's not the first time that we are actually sponsoring sport. We've done it before. We sponsored sport like the pool game in Zambia, and chess also is one of the sports that this country is being followed very keenly by most of the Zambians. So we are just happy to partner with them so that we can together ensure that this game of chess goes which is far.
Indeed, chess is equally important as any other sport, like football, needing individual attention and support. Zanis reports in Lusaka.
Indeed, chess is equally important like any other sports. Well, that sports item brings us to the end of the news. But before I finish, let's look at these stories that made us headlines. President Hakainde Hichilema has directed that volunteers providing service during cholera outbreak be employed. Investing in African mining Indawa opens in Cape Town, South Africa. Heavy rains destroy crossing points in Mafinga. Plus, Chess Federation of Zambia intensify preparations ahead of the international competitions. That brings us to the end of news at Zanis, and on behalf of the entire news production crew, thank you so much for joining us. It has been Margaret Kangwa. Stay tuned.